Hey guys, it's Gus, and I, I I had to make one of these videos a couple months ago to help players out that weren't aware, and it happened again. And I would say that this time it's even much worse. Uh, this game is so good. So many of us have stuck around through years. Every bad thing that could go wrong, we've stuck through it because the game is so darn good. And they went and did it again today. And I already know there's gonna be trolls in the comments saying people deserve this. They should have known it was coming. They should have known better. Just people blaming the victims. I fully expect that. Happens every time. Because it didn't happen to them, so they'll gloat over other people. But today, after all the negative feedback from the community, they came out with a I don't know if it was a PR publicity stunt or whatever, but they came out with a very formulated note saying, we nerfed the air archon, but I love how they shifted the blame. They said that direct feedback forced them to nerf the air archon. Well, we know the direct feedback isn't from testers because there isn't any. We all know this. We are the testers. So that means direct feedback from players, maybe two players, told them that it's overpowered, which is completely false. It's very ill-informed. It's probably from somebody who doesn't know this game, but they'll gladly oblige, and they did. And there's a lot more there's a lot more air archons than most people I think believe in this game. Air archon's great. It's what the majority of players are using who want to be endgame, who are close to being proficient in game stuff, who don't have the resources, or who are unwilling to get the cold iron ware. And they buy them. They buy them a lot. I know, because I've sold multiple in the last week. I always say get the Magnificent Pack. It's much cheaper, so I just get the Magnificent Packs, open them, sell the Air Archon, make 100,000 diamond profit, and I feel no guilt about it because I tell people. And they're buying them. I know they're buying them because they bought them. They're selling. And so a lot of these players are buying them, and they just bought them, and then they spend a fortune upgrading them from epic to mythic, and then they spend another fortune upgrading them from legendary to mythic. Now, do you think most of those players spent 20 days grinding rough Astral Diamonds to upgrade them? Uh, Maybe a couple, but I think the vast majority are spending cash. So a lot of those players who bought them in the last 30, 60, 90 days are pissed. Very pissed. We know this. This isn't a guess. All you have to do is read Reddit or Discord or Facebook or watch your alliance chat or zone chat or guild chat or any PSN groups or whatever you're in. People are upset. And I don't think that's the bad thing. They dropped a bomb today. A big bomb. Through it's an ongoing process. Which implies it's not days, it's weeks or months. This game is closing on a decade old, so an ongoing process wouldn't mean something they got last week and they're making a knee-jerk reaction. This is a long-term decision, right? Well, I'll tell you what wasn't long-term. 12 days ago, they had Zuna in the Zen market. I know, well, I can imply that people spent a shitload getting them. Do I have direct feedback from, their Zen purchases? Absolutely not. But do I have access to the auction house where there was a page of elite companion packs, and then when they come out in the refinement packs and there's pages of them for dirt cheap? Yeah, we could assume that they're spending cash. I don't think any reasonable person can disagree with that. And with so many being there, that means there's a ton of people spending cash. And 12 days later, they get told their purchase, is being nerfed to the ground. I love how they shift the blame. They didn't take responsibility for it. They said the players told them it had to be done. The players, all two of them. Well, I'll tell you what. Archon is not overperforming at all. It's better than some other really shitty companions that they should have focused on, but they didn't. They're performing better than the broken ones that aren't performing at all, that they have yet to reply to any of the bug forums. Except they decided to nerf the ones that so many players that spent real money on. So they said today they're going to nerf the Cold Iron Warrior. Doesn't bother me. I got it for like 40k. They're going to nerf the Zuna. I don't care. I got her for free. I've been using her since Valenhaus. She was best in slot. People disagree with me. Augments were great in Tom, but in dungeons, Zuna was amazing. She's a cold-blooded killer. Now they're saying Cold Iron Warrior. People spend over 10 million diamonds on it. People say they're crazy for doing that. It's their fault for making that big of an investment. Well, that's blame the victim mentality, right? It's not their fault for trusting the game. They're overpowered my ass. Cold Iron Warrior, all the videos say it's number one in trials. It's the 6th best. I was going to make a video on it, but now I'm not, because I'm afraid they're going to nerf the 5 that are better than the Cold Iron Warrior. The people that play with me know what I'm talking about. They might go... I wouldn't be surprised if they go through our combat logs and figure out who they are now, just so they can nerf them. Cold Iron Warrior is pretty good. Zuna is pretty good. Nobody's going to beat a dungeon because of Cold Iron Warrior or Zuna. All it does is help you get through a dungeon you've done hundreds of times a little bit faster, or carry a new player, which us vets are trying to do every single day through dungeons, and make them like the game so they stay. Because we love this game. We stuck around for almost a decade dealing with all the bullshit going on. The game's not bullshit. The bugs in there are minor. Nothing. Every patch note, every time there's a patch note, we fix a small clipping issue of this one costume while riding this one mount in this one specific zone, and nobody gives a shit. They don't even know what they're talking about. Players care more about the content than they care about some minor visual bug. They complain about minor visual bugs when they're bored, but they're not bored if they're running content. And they come out and drop the bomb today. They said the players forced them to. Forced them to. That's shifting the blame. The Zuna being nerfed? Are you kidding me? It was in the Zen market 12 days ago. And they said in their statement that this has been ongoing. They've known for months. So if you're trying to be transparent, why would you put something on sale knowing it's a defective product? I'll tell you what a reasonable company would do. They wouldn't do that. And if a company really made a mistake, you know what they do? They would fix their actions. They would compensate people. They'd give them back another companion. They'd give them back the resources they spent upgrading something. Not just shift the blame. Cover it up. Hoping they quit and other players come and spend more. This is ridiculous. This is a really sad day. We were hoping that their true colors, like an ex who had a bad addiction, really fix themselves. And they didn't. They showed how much they don't care about the player base. It's not me saying that. It's them. They showed it today 100%. You're telling me that you didn't know Air Archon and Zuna and Cold Iron Warrior weren't going to be nerfed 12 days ago. You just found out today. After you pushed it out and was hoping the community didn't find out, and they found out very quickly. They noticed immediately. And then we come out with this PR statement to try to cover up for our misactions yet again. The players forced us to do this. Direct player feedback from 2 people. They shut off the comments because they would have got player feedback, direct player feedback from hundreds of people. Not the two people that told them was overpowered. They were wrong, grossly wrong, misinformed. Inexperienced people making long-term decisions for the company. Players, inexperienced players. That's what they did. They listened to the people who shouldn't have a voice at all, because they're so wrong. Cold Iron Warrior. Anybody who's ever seen any ACT data, and I don't have a PC, but I trust all the ACT data from many of the players I've seen. It's 20% of the damage. It's a small fraction. And when you reduce that by a small fraction, it's a smaller fraction. But players who are striving for endgame want to get invited to those queues. They want to be as strong as they can get. They want to get invited. I don't blame them. I did the same thing. And the company doesn't care about you guys. They just showed it today. Buyer beware. Sorry for all y'all with your lost. Stay classy, Neverwinter. See you soon.